I think. And we
No,
are
here.
recording. Welcome to Humanity Unboxed, Michael. Funny enough, we are so connected today to this theme of connection that we are struggling to connect both
We
to
can't
each
connect
other.
because we're so connected. We're so connected. We're usually so connected and try to connect today and it didn't work. So
No,
it's
so first,
perfect. It's perfect.
first you couldn't connect to the call, then I couldn't connect to YouTube.
Yeah.
Then who knows what's going on. And it's February. Yesterday was Imbolc, so it's the halfway mark between winter solstice and summer solstice, if I'm right, or is it the equinox? Anyway, we're going
Yeah.
towards the light, um, in the northern hemisphere.
Hmm.
Connection is a big topic for me at the moment. I got a notification, what was it, 2 weeks or something ago, that Meta, which owns Facebook and
Yeah.
Instagram and WhatsApp, um, wanted me to either pay £3.99 a month if I didn't want ads, and then they won't use my information, or I can continue using it for free if I give them permission to use my information for ads. So
Yeah.
at first, my instinct was to, okay, well, then I'm off Facebook, right? Which sounds very simple, and Instagram, which sounds very simple. And you can't go, I couldn't go forward. I couldn't connect to Instagram or Facebook unless I made this choice. So either I
Yeah.
pay, which is
Oh,
putting,
you're out. You're
yeah,
out.
which is putting money into someone's pocket, which I don't want to put money into,
Yeah.
um, or I give permission to
Yeah.
access my information, which isn't, I mean, I'm not hiding anything. There's no big secrets or
Yeah.
like,
We're talking about such
you know,
secrets. Oh my God. Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's insane, isn't it? Or that that I have this whatever, but it
Yeah.
is the fact that you give away something to someone that sells it. Yeah,
Yeah.
anyway. So I'm first I was going to leave it. And then the connection element of leaving these spaces, because we're getting ready to move, so it's
Yeah.
it's selling little things on marketplace, and knowing what my friends do who are in on other continents, or in other places. And then I realized, we all talk about getting rid of social media or moving it out of our lives, but what connection points do we have to each other if we can't message each other all the time and say, I can't, like yesterday, my daughter had a dance exam and my son played rugby. So now I'm not going to message you and tell you, oh, look at this photo of, or you know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
can share it somewhere, and I can connect you to my story, or same, you can share something and I can be connected to your
Yeah.
story.
Hmm.
And I wonder how we do that without these platforms that are now asking us for our express um,
Hmm.
permission to
Hmm.
sell, because they now profiting. Nothing in life is free.
Hmm.
They profiting from selling my likes and dislikes, my preferences, my I don't know,
Art. What your
profile,
art. Yeah.
probably my art, yeah, whatever. Um, yeah, what do you think about that? I don't know.
What I think about it is first of all, there's no answer, right answer,
No,
right?
exactly.
There's no right. Every human has to make it their own.
Yeah,
I have no copyright or anything. I find it not right that people profit from taking my stuff. And what I really don't like is when a social network requires a new security, a new whatever, and you can't log in. So you invest in
yeah,
time and in this so that your friends can see it.
yeah,
So and then you can't log in
yeah,
because you got hacked or whatever. It doesn't matter. So I don't care about my own thing because I know we all won.
yeah,
If that little money you get is like it doesn't matter. I like to share, and we said we don't care if people look at our stuff or not. That's fine, but we think we have so good stuff even for ourselves.
mm,
that perhaps other could take it or not take it or ignore it. And I think this is always with this happens always with technology. They basically make something that is free and easy and like nature and make it, oh my God, now you have to buy water. Now you have to pay for the CO2. You have to do this. So basically existing equals money, and
mm,
that not that it costs money, it equals money.
mm,
And when you have no money or whatever, you feel you're not worthy or whatever,
mm,
then you cannot, because also it's a financial literacy,
mm.
it's a skill. So to handle money is not going to be taught in school. It's not going to be by your parents that don't either know money, they had perhaps a good advisor, but they don't know.
Mm.
And so everybody's kept in the dark, and some people have financial literacy. It's not going to be taught in school.
Mm.
So what are we doing? There's self-destruction when we
Yeah.
use everything to do has to do with money. I think this is interesting. This comes in, but
Yet there is a movement, empowerment isn't educated or shared in school either,
yeah,
education is
awareness either.
lacking. There's no um, growth in education. I'm sorry to
Yeah,
say, I cannot see it, you know, but there is a movement of people that are enabling others. I
yeah,
found randomly some YouTube channel this weekend, and I've shared it with
yeah,
the kids, and to give each other um, the the element of the ability to empower themselves through learning and choosing what they want to learn. So here is material that you could engage with, that could benefit you, and we can have a conversation about
yeah.
it. To then go, you are not enough because you don't have these skills, which aren't
And
necessarily
or
skills
you have to
either.
pay for this skill, or you have to pay. You
Yeah,
have not enough, or you have to pay. And
yeah,
so either you have no money enough, or you have no content enough. So
yeah.
we have a lot of content, but we don't want to pay for everything because you have kids, especially you want to take care of your kids.
Mm.
So I think, why should you pay for something that would be free to somebody else? And
But it's
that,
also to who, So
yeah,
it's an energy exchange for me,
yeah,
money. So whether I have a lot of it or not isn't the
is
concept,
not the question. Yeah,
the question. Yeah, for me
yeah,
it is um like Spotify a while ago. The CEO,
yeah.
the
CEO,
CEO
yeah,
of Spotify invested a lot in military AI, but
yeah,
yet the artist on the platform, he's making money from other people's art pretty much,
yeah.
and then he's investing it in something that a
Into
lot of
war.
people don't agree with.
That's
So
opposite. That's opposite art.
exactly, so
Yeah,
we have creativity and distraction that are playing off, but the creative element is not being rewarded.
yeah,
It's the distraction,
yeah.
and
Destruct.
so that's the thing for me. And then there's guilt because yeah, connection for me at the moment in the world is an interesting thing, especially with what's going on in America. I'm watching from the side. Everybody's
Yeah.
going about so difficult, and you know, a
It's not
lot of
difficult. It's
countries.
not. It's nowhere difficult. Only when you play in the system, when you
Well, it
get in
is
contact, like
difficult.
you get in social media, you
Yeah.
get into the system realm, and the system realm is always self-destructive.
Yeah.
Always at the end.
But it
Yeah.
is difficult. It is difficult for minority groups that are going in a process of citizenship, or there's a lot of fear that it's difficult for people that are misplaced in a system that is so
Yeah.
broken. Um, but it's also difficult to live in Palestine. It's also difficult to live in Syria, and
All over the
it's
world
been
is very
very
hard to live
difficult
right
to
now.
live
Yeah.
in many places for a very long
Yeah.
time. And a lot of those people are in difficulty because of what America has done, or because of
Yeah.
what powers in America have done.
Well, I
So
think worldwide powers. I don't blame
America
America.
is very big. There's an interesting speech that Nelson Mandela did, I will share it with you,
Yeah.
around the factor, the role that American government and decisions making has played in the suffering of people in the world is
Yeah.
big. It's big. And
Yeah.
now it is internal,
Yeah.
the decisions that are being made internally is causing a lot of suffering for a lot of people, and it's unnecessary,
Yeah.
according to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so there is connection, that element of people being connected to not just home or
Yeah.
having a place where they belong,
Hmm.
but also families. Families are being broken up. It's heartbreaking to be in the world in this time where we are have given over, um, safety isn't the right word, but belonging to safety in a way, physical safety actually, to people in suits, men in suits as such.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, before us.
I think the you say connecting, right? That was the theme for
Yeah,
today. Yeah.
yeah,
I think the connecting is when you connect when you're transparent to each other. So when I say, you know, they took out my liver or they did something, then you automatically adapt to, which is the third superpower, adapt to me. Or when you see you get a new baby or you lost a baby, I know that. When no transparency is, people cannot be, so the least transparency is, which is through the digital, also when we talk, that the energy gets our energy, we don't even talk, our energy goes into the technical, and the technical translates it to you, and then you translate it to see. Even in the technical, we use more effort, more energy, but because Zooming, I can talk for hours with other people, but on Zoom, when I talk one Zoom after the other, and I often talk the whole day on Zoom,
yeah,
and then I'm exhausted because, and I am not nervous talking or anything, but I'm just exhausted from to really be very clear to you that you understand the message that I sent you, and with you is no problem either, because you and I have a connection, other connection too.
yeah.
But when I have no connection with a person and there's no transparency,
Mm.
then I getting more segregated. Actually, you want to connect, and you can't connect because you get. See, there was a reason why we talked about this, because we never talk about politics or anything.
Yeah,
When you actually want to connect, you segregate through technology and through not being transparent. Because if I'm transparent, I can connect with you. You said, "Oh, Scooter did this, or the kids did this, or this." I understand. I can connect with you. Or sorry, I have to move. Alone that you move makes my understanding of you different. So you can call me much more dirty words than usual when I know you move,
yeah,
because there is a dance, and that dance cannot be that cannot be done. And so that in order to dance and connect, you can't be afraid of being transparent, you know
yeah. And,
you
and
be you. You only be you. You only be
yeah,
you. I said, I'm afraid, I wouldn't go to South Africa. You go. And I
yeah,
trust that. I'm not worried. I
mm,
trust that you can do that, because you
yeah,
need to know what you need to know. So I
yeah,
don't
because
say
it's my home.
generalizing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I cannot generalize and say, no. And I have a total different, because, I was in Vienna.
mm,
Before COVID, we had a big party in Vienna. I
mm,
was there. It doesn't draw me there. I have no contact. In America, when you see the political, I'm still drawn to America. So
yeah. But I mean, home isn't necessarily where you're born,
yeah,
There's a
yeah,
lot of people, even people in my close network
yeah,
who were born in South Africa still go home very often, but it's not their home, They feel
yeah,
more at
yeah,
home, yeah, where I know I will always be African at heart. So
yeah,
I will always,
yeah,
not be at home if I'm not in
yeah,
the southern hemisphere or in the southern Africa. You said something earlier that transparency, but also a a holistic view. So when we're on Zoom, right,
Yeah.
we just, yeah, it's like this part of,
Exactly. This spectrum, yeah, it's
yeah, and it's
spectrum. Like
words.
this, more
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. So it's the head, and
Yeah,
it's only the head, because it's although we feel energy, although we can transmit and
yeah,
share energy, the only way for us to really share our ideas are through these words that we know can
yeah.
be very
Very
confusing,
limited.
especially
Yeah,
if we're, speaking in a second language. Um, but that's what makes it so exhausting, because we can also, if we were one day, hopefully, to be in the same
yeah,
space, we will
yeah.
need less words because we can
We
communicate
can just sit. Yeah. My
naturally. Yeah,
friend, I sit with him
yeah,
almost every day at night, 3 or 4 hours, and I just sit and I read my stuff, look at stuff, and he
yeah,
does his. You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, which is
So
such a comforting um,
to
connection
just be
point
with somebody,
to
and
just
especially
be,
somebody you like. If you don't
yeah,
like him, yeah,
yeah. If you don't like them, it's never nice to
yeah.
be.
No, but if you like him, but everything is we are all together. We are not
Yeah,
segregated. We're actually not segregated,
yeah,
and because of segregation, we have to connect. That's why connection is so important. We are
mm,
all one, right? We are
yeah,
all one, and so connected right now with the human centricity that you and I promote. The
yeah,
people we got to look at that systemically through saying it's human centric. Normally, we wouldn't have anything if you and I would let's say be South Africa and we're born there. We don't need anything. We just don't need to think about it even because we are connected already.
unless unless
Unless
we
they
are
segregate,
influenced by the media or by
yeah,
the YouTube videos or by
or by
the
race or
TV
by
programs.
race or age or anything. Yeah, if
Yeah,
they
but
segregate us,
if we
then we have
could
to connect. Yeah,
connect, yeah, in
yeah,
our, I don't know. It's an interesting thing because connection goes, or media or connection itself can create both disconnection from where you
yeah,
are,
yeah.
and connection.
But we
Depending.
are connected. We need to know we are connected. We are so loved that we can have the delusion of being segregated. There is no segregation. Even if you put me in the worst thing, that's hard psychologically to be in a prison dark room or something.
Yeah.
But um, we shared something about the
Yes,
oh yeah,
about the
yeah,
yeah,
so that the yeah, but so when the only person that was thinking was talking to himself,
yeah,
and that survived this torture, and the stuff is, I think we are always connected, but we have to, if we choose to want that experience of being segregated, then we get that too, because
mm,
life delivers what we fear or whatever, what we
yeah,
love, what we fear, everything.
yeah, yeah, and it's also about letting go of the conditioning of what connection means. I
Yeah,
have a friend who I have many conversations with in my head, and
yeah,
it feels like she, we reciprocate,
yeah,
um, and just the understanding of that concept
yeah.
creates this really close-knit friendship.
Hmm.
So that when we do share the actual words, it hits
Hmm.
the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is similar to us, and
Yeah, so it's we are all connected. Even if you go to the butcher tomorrow
mm,
and he's Australian, we're always connected. Yeah,
yeah.
you know.
But therefore,
But
we also connected to the suffering in the world, I feel,
yeah, and
to
also
the
we judge. We
two-year-olds.
we
Mm,
also judge. So we see somebody. How often have you met somebody? I've met that I thought full blast idiot, and then he was one of my best friends.
yeah, yeah,
So he became to my best friend. I thought, oh my God, I can't stand this guy. And a
yeah,
lot of people cannot stand me because I'm very confident
mm,
at the beginning. Now less, but before it was like, oh my God, that Michael, he's crazy. Yeah? And then they started thinking. And now I read yesterday that weird people are the highest intelligence. It doesn't matter if I'm not intelligent. I told you I'm not intelligent.
you
I'm not an
are, of
expert.
course
I'm
you
not an
are.
authority.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
my authority. I'm Michael. That's it.
Yeah, well,
So
this is judgment, isn't it?
yeah,
It's labeling, it's intelligent. They
and
don't
that
even know how
segregates
to
you, and that
measure.
segregates you.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm just observing and not making a judgment. I say no, that's, I can't say just for me, oh, it's not for me. That's one thing. See, there's a difference. Just like, hey, he's an idiot. Oh, she has this on, I would never go out with her because she has this on, or
yeah,
she has a scar in her face, or him. Yeah, I would. You just say nothing, you just experience it, you know.
yeah, yeah. But yet we have been conditioned, and I use this word too much. I must find another one. Um, to want a label to make us, and then we talk about this a lot,
Mhm.
that there is no normal, there is no medium on a belt.
Group, every
It's
time
all
you go
made
into
up. It's,
groups, everything you group, everything
yeah,
you generalize. Group generalizing is over,
yeah,
because I will tell you, it's like saying all Nazis are horrible. I bet you they were very good, like a family that just thought Nazism was good. I
yeah,
mean, I love the Israeli. I like Israel people, but I
mm,
don't like the
government.
domination that they go through their politician. I love. I mean, I was married to this stuff, so
Yeah.
so I love. I love
But you love
is
people.
people.
Yeah.
I love people. Doesn't matter where they come from. It doesn't matter. So when they say, and I always, I mean, now it doesn't happen anymore, but I had to at the beginning say the Chinese people, the Russian people are bad, you know? When they
Yeah.
said that, I said the leaders are not in order. The people are totally normal. All the Russians, Chinese, everybody that I know is totally normal. And because of 750 podcasts, over 750 guest appearances all over the world,
Mm.
God, I don't need to change my vocabulary or anything. If I talk to a
No.
black person, yeah, or a white person, or a Chinese person, or a Russian. It doesn't matter. They're
Yeah.
all the same. So when you
Well,
don't
they're all
judge,
different. They're
yeah,
they're all
they're
different,
all different, but you are
Yeah.
different too. You're different
Yeah.
than me too. I don't see
Exactly.
that you're more different than a black person.
No.
You are different. You are you, and I'm me. And
Yeah.
when you don't go on this one-on-one, that is the big lie that we need to
Yeah.
connect and make equality. Screw equality. Everybody's unique. How can you
Yeah.
be? Equality makes you one. It generalizes you.
But you're already one,
Yeah, you
it's
are
that
one. You don't have to
illusion
say
of
it.
segregation that
Yeah,
comes in the way. Yeah.
yeah,
But it's also the need for identity. So to be
yeah,
able to give up the need for identity and to know that
yeah.
you already are, you don't
Right.
have
And
to have
everybody's a one-on-one
exactly.
instead of saying, I need to have my identity in the system. See, there's a one-on-oneness in the system, which is everybody. Like it's Macron, it's all these people. Look at the film star, look at this. Or saying human centrically, one of one,
Mm.
everybody's a one, but we are all one. So we are
Yeah,
all one and we are one on one, and not because we're one on one, because we see life in a different perspective and liking it different. We see it's just a different perspective. Everybody sees us and we see them in a different perspective, and
yeah,
that's probably so. Actually, surrender to connection,
mm,
surrender that we are one, and
yeah,
see that we are. How are we one? So actually, anybody that sees it, try this out. How
yeah,
are we one? Can you actually identify that we are one? So I can identify with you. With
mm,
other people, it's harder because I don't have that relationship. I don't have the transparency with, the
yeah,
vulnerability that they say, hey, that you know me, because
mm,
there's a lot in the knowing, but still that person that I really hate is me, and
yeah,
and I see him as horrible. And how often do you see this when people say, hey, Carl is really bad, and then say, I love Carl. Every time Carl comes, I'm not falling in love. So,
yeah,
like, yeah, I said, I love Carl when he comes. It's so funny. And I
yeah.
said, I cannot handle any jokes from him.
Mm.
That are two perspectives. Both are right. Both are
Or
right, or
none are
both
right.
are,
Or
oh,
there
yeah,
is
or not
no
right.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It just is. It
yeah,
is. Yeah.
yeah. We just watched a really cool series on Netflix, I think. It was
Hmm.
It's
I'm so glad I don't have it.
I know, but it is really good. It is called Mo.
Yeah.
Muhammad is actually his name.
Yeah.
It follows, it's a semi-autobiographical 2 seasons. We literally went binge watched over 2 days, but it's so beautifully put together as there's his girlfriend's Mexican who then has an Israeli boyfriend, and then
Yeah.
they go and visit Palestine. It's
Yeah.
it's all these human elements, um, and the sadness in it,
Yeah.
of of migration, animals migrate, people migrate, things happen in the world that remove people from their homes, and it's such a harsh place to be in these days when you don't have a home, and there are many people that have had to flee where they live because of wars, that anyway.
Wars, mostly it's wars, most migrants. The
Yeah.
other, they see a couple people, but they're not, unless they're Shiites and Sunni. But in general, there's no, like the people go because war. They bombed the things. They took the water from the land. They took the thing from the thing. They explored everything. So they actually make your home, your little garden, concrete and whatever, and you can't live there anymore, and
Or
you
they
don't
bomb
know
it
any.
and it's
Yep.
gone,
Yeah.
and there's bombs. I used to, a couple of years ago, I did some learning mentor work with the council in
Yeah.
the Derbyshire area, and three Syrian brothers. There were four brothers, but the one
Yeah.
was young enough to be integrated right into the system. And I was being a learning mentor, kind of a tutor for the
Hmm.
three older brothers. And I had to have a translator because they only
Hmm.
spoke Arabic,
Yeah.
so we were trying to teach them some English, and it was fascinating. I think about these boys often still, um, how traumatized they were, and how badly they were treated.
Yeah.
When we walk through the streets, because I'd go pick them up from their mom's house, and then we'd walk through the whole town and go to a learning center, and I could pick up their energy, and there's shame and there's all these things, and they're in this community who don't understand their language, who
Hmm.
communicate with them. um and one day a helicopter, I was cleaning out my emails and things this weekend, and I came across an email that I sent to one of the people in the office,
Hmm.
and how the oldest brother explained to me about the car bombs, and
Yeah.
was pretty much using his hands and showing me about the grenades and the helicopters that, and this is where they came from. This is the reason why they were in this strange land, not because
Hmm.
they wanted to take away anything from anyone else. Um,
No.
yeah, so
They always assumed they want to come here to have a better life. They want to come here a better life
to
because their
survive.
minimal life was
Mm,
destroyed. Africa, everything, it's
yeah.
just when you destroy that little that they have where they are happy,
Mm.
then they migrate. Migrate is
But
always the
it's also
last thing. It's the last thing.
Yeah, but there is also migration. I mean, animals migrate every season,
Yeah.
most animals migrate over seasons.
Depending on the
So
Earth's
we
energy,
have,
on the
yeah,
Earth's, what do you think we do? We do the
yeah,
same thing.
exactly.
If I felt at that time I need to go to America, I
Mm,
went to America. I didn't have my parents that said it. I had nobody here. I
yeah,
went to America with
yeah,
18 or 19. So nobody told me, nobody said go. I had no education. I was nothing, and I came here. You
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Maybe we can connect even more.
Couldn't No,
Well,
no, I think this was really good because
yeah,
I think it get clarity, awareness. We don't even have to connect. Just get
we
rid
all,
of that
yeah,
of our blockages. Let go of our blockages that were introduced to us, conditioned us, whatever. Yeah, and 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 we can be only we. Michelle
yeah,
can only be Michelle. Michael can only be Michael. This how
exactly.
we can. I cannot be Perry. I cannot be anybody else. I cannot be. I
No,
have to be me.
yeah. But we can grow if we can
Yeah,
connect to each other, because then I
yeah.
can become a little bit more of me when I know a little bit more about Michael or
That's it.
Mohammed
Teach learning.
or
Teach learning. Remember that word that I
Pablo
put
or
together?
yeah,
The word that I put together, teach learning. And I found so much out about the learning. There is everything in education. There's so many education programs, but it's not by the top decided this should be general. It should never be general. We have not defined education yet. And that's what my question is for anybody that listens. What is the definition of education? The function and the efficiency.
yeah,
The function this, and then Montessori would be the best for this, Waldorf would be the best for this, a regular school system would be the best for this. So all the solutions are here. I find that more and more with system.
yeah,
All the solutions sing, but it is in the system, the energy is controlled. So they have to cover the whole thing instead of doing the local thing, the natural nation. They
yeah,
want to do worldwide, global, and the global is the worst. It
yeah.
just you can't globally. There's certain things you can do global, but not education because
Well,
culture is the thing. Go
yeah.
ahead.
And it all comes down to knowing thyself,
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
responsibility for
Mm-hmm.
knowing who I am and knowing
Mm-hmm.
I don't fit into that
Yeah,
system. Therefore, I need to find something that works for me. But that comes back to choice. So, yeah, choice is limited when money is limited. So then there's control because
yeah,
who has the money and where does the
yeah.
money go? Yeah.
Well,
Thank you. We are going to
welcome.
continue on this topic of connection for this month. So I look forward to what we come up with next.